Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of You, Me, and He. I am your host, Rob Lambert, and I'm joined by my co-hosts,
Drew Carroll.
This is Josh Frankenstein. We were about to have a first ever on this show. Andrew was going to take a call from an advertiser and actually stream that call on the podcast.
Oh my gosh. What happened? Did they hang up?
They hung up.
Dang it.
Yeah, that would have been so good, man. I was ready to plug you in and everything.
They started calling me at weird times, dude. And somehow they figured out my real name. It must be like, I don't know if it was like through a phone number search or something.
They contacted Verizon.
They asked.
Yeah.
So, the last conversation we had was real weird, dude. Real weird.
Dude, that would have been great. That would have been a first ever. That's why we looked so weird when you were coming into the intro, because that call came through and I was like, take it.
We'll just keep it handy. If it rings again, we'll cut in on it and
Yeah.
go for it. Oh, because that'll be so good. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Guys, we took 2 weeks off. Do we even know how to do this anymore?
What are we doing?
Apparently not. Our intro was terrible. I don't even know if you said your name.
No,
I
he
am
did.
Josh Frankenstein, in case I did not.
Just in case. Yeah, we had traveling and vacations and all kinds of stuff, but we're back. And guys, it's good to see your faces. I just got back from like a week and a half vacation, and it was glorious.
Cool.
And by glorious, I mean...
Sounds like it was, Rob. Totally sold me on your vacation.
Where'd you go?
I packed my two small children and my wife into a van and then drove for 4 days. So it was good stuff.
You guys have a van?
But oh yeah, we got a good minivan. Are you living that van life yet, Drew?
No, we got an Equinox.
Oh, dude. I had one of
still
those.
living
Don't
that
worry,
van life.
I had one of those.
Probably
Yeah, you need like a
working on
bus,
it.
right?
Yeah, dude.
Bus. Yeah, that's what I thought I bought.
Josh has a stretch limo Hummer.
Yeah. Oh, baby. No, dude. When we had our first daughter, we rented a van and drove that van for like 2 weeks, and after that, I was sold. It's like a mini RV, dude. You just feel like you're king of the road. It's good for you.
Is that really what you feel
no.
like? Queen of the road.
Whatever. Dude, when I'm in that captain's chair, nobody can touch me, okay? So
They may not be able to touch
we got
you,
to
but
drive.
the kids can still scream at you from the back the entire
It reminds
way.
me of Ron Swanson on Parks and Rec when Tom's bowling. Oh, son, people can see you.
oh my gosh. Oh, dude, when I'm in that minivan, dude, I will like bump. I will bump the jams, roll the windows down, and just cruise. I don't even care. It's the dad life, bro. Anyways, so
It doesn't have to be.
It sounds more like a dad choice. I made a choice.
how's that treating you?
Not so good every few weeks.
But when it runs, dude, man.
When I can drive it. So we passed through Sparks, Nevada, both times on the way there and the way back. And there's a Chipotle there that we stopped and had lunch at. But right next door is a Buffalo Wild Wings. Have you guys ever eaten at Buffalo Wild Wings?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like the bigger, worse version of Wingstop.
You don't like Buffalo Wild Wings?
No,
Oh, man.
not nearly as much as I like Wingstop.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
I don't
but
ever think
yes.
I've had Wingstop before.
Oh, you're missing out, bro. Wingstop's way better.
Okay, I'll give it a try. I do have a Buffalo Wild Wings literally like a mile away from my house. So
The garlic parmesan at Wingstop like blows Buffalo Wild Wings out of the water. Like Buffalo Wild Wings is like this greasy, buttery, like syrupy
delicious. Is that what you're trying
flavor
to
that
describe
they
right
put
now?
on the chicken, man. And like the one at Wingstop is like this. It's just
Dude, and if you get the atomic ones, you'll blow fire out your baccide, dude. Lava. You'll get lava cheeks.
I can speak of this from experience, actually. So, because every time I go, I always get at Wingstop. They've got you can buy a 15 piece pack, and you can get 2 flavors. But I always opt for the third. I pay a little bit more for the third, and so I get the garlic parmesan. I get 8 of those, okay, and then I get 4 Cajun. And I get the rest the atomic, dude.
Oh, dude, you should have stopped at Cajun, man. The 4 Cajun would have done it.
No, I love them.
Oh, dude, the atomic.
I love them. I love them. They're so good.
Dude, and my stomach starts bubbling when I smell them.
Oh gosh.
My stomach starts bubbling about 5 hours after eating them. Dude. It's not good. It's not good at all. But I love it. I just love it. So
with all the stories of the lack of intestinal fortitude that each of you possesses, it blows my mind that you would put yourself in that position.
I don't.
But
I steer clear of things like that now, dude.
Let's just say that
smart.
Josh Frankenstein is a gambling man.
That's right. I do want to say, too, that I did write down hashtag lava cheeks because I think that could be a good title for this episode. But we'll see what happens. So we stopped at this Chipotle. Oh, my gosh. So we stopped at this Chipotle for lunch. And on the way to California, as we're walking into Chipotle, this lady is walking out of Buffalo Wild Wings. And she's crying.
Oh.
And I'm like, dude, that sucks. What's going on? And she's on the phone. And as she's walking out and she's crying, what I hear her say is, they told me that I can't work here because my record says I have a felony.
Wait. I like how that sentence is phrased. My record says I have a felony. Not because I'm a felon. My record says I have a felony.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was like many expletives after that we would lose a clean rating. But it got me thinking, like, what does somebody have to do, number one, to not get hired at Buffalo Wild Wings? And then it made me Google a list of what are like the smallest, like the most insignificant possible felonies, like the lowest level felony that somebody could commit in Nevada that would show up on their record. Because I'm sitting here going, I want to know this lady's story. Yeah. I want to piece together what felony is on her record that's going to prevent her from getting hired at Buffalo Wild Wings. So,
and then when you think of it in context of Nevada, everything's legal there.
Exactly.
It's just a desert.
You had to really screw up.
You have to really. Yeah. So I mean that's part of the context, I think.
So I went ahead and I Googled and found these are class or category E felonies in Nevada.
Category
okay, so these are
E, as in echo.
E. Yes.
E felonies. I didn't even think that was a thing. Like I didn't believe it until you just said it. I still don't believe it, actually.
And so I thought maybe you guys could help me and we could kind of read through a few of these and maybe start to piece together, like, what would be the most epic story that would maybe redeem her a little bit? So I'm just gonna hit a few of these, and you guys can feel free to chime in. Like some of these are pretty rough. Misconduct of a public official. Trusted.
That sounds absolutely like acceptable, actually.
Yeah, that's not a crime.
That sounds made up.
Ooh, capturing an image of the private area of another person. But I want to be clear. It says second or subsequent offense, so it's not the first time. It's not the first time.
Because in Nevada they have plausible deniability.
Exactly.
You have to be committed twice.
Let's see. I mean, criminal gang recruitment. Like, dude, maybe she's going to join the Bloods.
The Crips, bro.
Or she was trying to recruit somebody to be in the Bloods?
Maybe,
yeah. Dude, graffiti crime with a loss of value, $5,000 or more. This is a single offense. Causing $5,000 worth of graffiti damage.
So she tagged someone's Ferrari?
Dude, I mean, maybe she's just an artist.
Yeah, seriously.
That's a lot in damage before it becomes a felony.
That is a lot of damage. But when you think about it, you can, I mean, in the eyes of the law, dude, you can chalk that up to pretty much anything. I mean, think about it, like an ad sign that's off the side of the highway. You tag that thing, how much it costs to like put one on, and whatever other damage there is associated with it.
They must not be catching people for that because it's on every side.
Yeah, especially down in Los Angeles. You go through there and you can't even see the original ad.
Dude, we just drove through Bakersfield and they were building. There was all this new construction and it was all tagged already and they weren't even done building it.
Well, any surface they can get their hands on.
Welcome to the Golden State.
Yeah, for real. Dude, jumping or delivering or retrieving another person to jump from a fixed structure by parachute or other airborne means without proper authority.
So base jumping.
Yeah. Like,
dude, they don't
property.
even that one's ridiculous because there aren't any buildings in Nevada tall enough to do that.
She jumped off a sand dune. Dude, furnishing a portable telecommunications device to a prisoner. So like smuggling a cell phone in your butt.
I feel like you're reading. I feel like you're reading this woman all wrong. She sounds more like the type that would make or open a road through cemetery without consent.
Make or open a road.
That's what it says right
through
here.
Cemetery
Without consent.
without consent.
Or maybe she was depositing material in cemetery without consent.
Oh my god.
Wait, is that a misdemeanor or a felony?
These are all the charges he
No, this
sent.
is class.
This is
This
felony.
is category E.
This is a felony.
Dude,
Gosh,
willfully.
dude, this is what's great about some of these is that someone has done it. That's why it exists, because somebody has done it.
Lots of people have done it. It wasn't the first time, and then they decided to make a law. This was all stuff that had been happening.
Wow.
Dude, okay, hang on. Okay. Unlawful removal, possession, sale of tomb, monument, gravestone, or other structures in a cemetery.
What are you in
So
for?
somebody's going in and pulling. I pulled a gravestone heist. Like, there's so many other things you could decide to steal, but you instead want to steal like a granite slab. Like, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. Dude, willfully or maliciously beating a service animal. Like, what the heck?
I'm sorry. That does not make me like. Well, yeah, I don't hate animals, but I'm sorry. That's funny. That's funny.
You're just imagining like a blind person beating up a seeing eye dog or something. Like, what is going on in Nevada? Holy crap.
I just thought it was a pinata. Introducing aquatic invasive species to Nevada waters, second and subsequent offenses.
So if you put a great white into the canal system the first time, they're like, yeah, we get it. Just don't do it again, all right?
Once is enough. Like, please don't do that.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder what some things are that people have tried to introduce into the Nevada
I don't know,
areas.
dude. That would be really interesting to find out.
I mean, there's not a lot of things that would probably survive there
No,
in fresh water.
No, it's hot. Everything's hot.
It's got that going for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm just trying to think.
Knowingly witnessing fights between animals or birds, second or subsequent offense.
So again,
Wait,
one time is okay.
Does that count if you're like in a park and two pigeons are fighting and you like are like, everybody gather around, come here.
Everyone,
That's really funny.
turn away. It is the law. I'm
Some
issuing
narc
a
is there like,
citizen's
break it up,
arrest."
guys. I just want you to know I'm calling the cops. So, and there's more, but I mean, I'm listening to this lady, And I want to believe that it's not something with drugs. Like, I want to believe that she had a friend who died, but their last wish was to like base jump off a casino after graffitiing their name on the face of it, and they wanted to base jump straight into their own grave. And
well, technically, by the logic of most of these Class E felonies, she had two friends at one time that she did all these things with. So there was kind of a trend there.
Dude, depositing material. Wait, okay, hang on. Okay, here's a question I have. Depositing material in cemetery without consent. Now that makes me think, like, don't take a body and put it there. But could that be like when you get really mad and you like sneak in the middle of the night and like take a dump on somebody's grave?
That's what I was thinking. Actually, that's the first thought that went through my mind. This is Nevada's version of indecent exposure in California.
Oh my god. It's just funny that there's so many about being in a cemetery. Oh my gosh.
In a state that pretty much allows pornography and prostitution and everything.
Not legalized, but we turn our head.
Yeah, no, it is legal. Depending on the county, it's really? Absolutely legal. Yeah. You can't really lock someone up for indecent exposure, so I guess you'd have to get them with taking a dump on someone's grave.
There you go. Well, there you go. So,
how did she look, Rob? What was her general demeanor? I mean, describe this person to us.
Are you trying to ask me, like, did she seem like maybe she had a felony for killing or assisting to kill certain big game animals?
No, that's a presupposition. What I'm asking is just to describe how this person looked so that Andrew and I can come to our own conclusion.
Or did she maybe swing a little bit closer to food stamp fraud value of $650 or more? Probably the second. Yeah.
Dang it. Okay, well, that just about sums it up for me.
So there you go. So this lady, I'm sure she's not listening, but hey, we feel your pain. Maybe go next door to Chipotle. Maybe they'll hire you.
Maybe.
Or go to Wingstop.
There you go.
Everything's better there, right, Josh?
That's right. Everything's better there. Except your chances.
On that note, Josh, my friend, how are you?
I'm doing well tonight, man. Kids are out of the house for the next few days, which is good.
Oh, baby.
We can focus and get a lot of crap done, that needs to get done. But, it's summer break, right? And I'm sure you guys are like me, summer break comes around and you try and rediscover things that maybe you loved in your youth and just like try and pick those back up again, right? One of those things is softball, which Andrew and I are playing on the same team on. But the second one that I've just really, really been into that I'm loving, and I wish I hadn't let it go, is the cartoon Family Guy.
Oh, nice.
Dude,
that's awesome.
I've been watching so much Family Guy. And so, I mean, when Family Guy came out, dude, I bought the first 10 seasons. Like, I have the first 10 seasons on DVD, right? And yes, it's DVD, not Blu-ray. Like, it's DVD.
On VHS.
And then my son was born. And I only started watching all the Family Guy DVDs that I already have. And then they get to a point where they can repeat everything that they see on Family Guy, and you have to stop watching Family Guy. Right? So here's one of the nice things about my job. I get to work from home pretty frequently, except for when I'm on the road, right?
Nice.
So the last 2 weeks, as I've been working at my desk, I haven't had to be on nearly as many phone calls because I think most people are going on like vacation and stuff. So as I do a lot of my work, like I've just been streaming some Family Guy in the background on my phone, dude. And oh my gosh, this show is hilarious.
A lot of my work means as I do all of my work, I'm watching Family Guy.
No, because I still have
working. I'm watching Family Guy.
I still have calls I have to take, and okay. I can say this because I have a degree. Andrew does not, so he doesn't remember what it was like to study and watch something at the same time. So
it's funny that now you're so proud of that.
Just in this moment right now. Because it works in my favor.
You're talking about the guy who watches Netflix while operating heavy machinery, if I remember correctly.
That's right. I forgot about that.
At 3 miles an hour.
Hey, Pot.
Oh, that's true. Never mind.
A monkey could do it.
Yeah, they got.
Actually, they've done tests. A monkey has done it.
They have GPS now. The tractor just follows the GPS.
Ours doesn't. That's why I hit that tree.
You were streaming Family Guy.
No, because there was a rat in the tractor.
Sure. Anyway, dude, I've been just freaking streaming Family Guy like nonstop. Like even in the living room now, I don't even care if the kids walk in. I just tell them to go back to their room. Just get out of here and go. And
get out.
Oh, dude, I swear, I would love to meet Seth MacFarlane sometime and shake the man's hand. We would not get along after 2 hours because we do not see eye to eye on almost anything
Other than his show.
Yeah, other than his show.
Yeah.
We probably agree that a lot of the same problems exist, but we definitely don't agree on solutions to those issues that exist, right? But the guy is just so funny, dude. He's freaking hilarious, and I love everything that comes out. I don't know if you guys have seen his Star Trek platform show called The Orville. Have you seen that?
I haven't got to see it, but I really, really wanted
dude,
to.
It's in season 2, man, and Amy and I love it. I've
heard it's very good.
freaking hilarious, man. It's really good.
Is it on Netflix?
Hulu. You can stream it on Hulu.
Nice.
So, yeah, between these two shows, dude, I think Seth MacFarlane is fantastic. And going back to what we were talking about on Patreon, right? The guy's a comedian. I love the fact that he'll just say whatever he wants to say. It doesn't matter if it's through the show or through Family Guy or through the Orville or just out in public. I love the fact that the guy just says what he wants to say. Yeah. And a lot of the stuff that I've been watching recently, dude, is he's been complaining about how you can't say anything anymore without people demonizing you, basically, right?
Yeah.
So
Sure.
It's just, and the way that it comes through is just hilarious, in the cartoon, man. So I'm sure you guys have seen Family Guy, but dude, I'm loving the show right now because it's just I feel like I'm 23 again, which is crazy because there are other things that should make you feel 23 again, but I'll take this one because it's there.
Dude,
so,
my favorite flashbacks that they've ever had was the ones where they flash back to Michael Jackson.
Oh, no.
The one where he's sitting down at the table.
Peter Griffin, yeah.
Yeah, the one where Michael Jackson is sitting down at the table and he said, what is it? It's
the kid in me likes the frosted.
Yeah, and then the adult in me likes the kid in me. Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, my gosh.
The kid in me likes the frosted side. And then it unzips and it's Michael Jackson. He's all, the adult in me likes the kid in me.
Oh, my God.
So funny, dude. Or the Bob's Big Boy one. I think that was a robot chicken.
I think it was Robot Chicken
Where
too,
they have the
that show was
gigantic,
pretty good too.
They have the gigantic Michael Jackson, and they're doing this ceremony, introducing everybody to this giant robot, and he goes over to the Bob's Big Boy and starts humping it.
Wait, is that the robot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He's all, big boy.
Yeah, dude.
I think my favorite one, and I don't remember the context of it, but it cuts to Peter in an elevator with one other person, and it's just quiet, and then all of a sudden you hear, and then Peter looks at the guy and goes, "It was you."
It's good, dude. So there's a huge gap between when I stopped watching between season 10 and the one I'm watching now is season 16 or 17.
There's that many?
Yeah, dude. There are a lot of seasons now.
Dude. Yeah, I stopped watching a long time ago.
So the way I like to think of the first several seasons that I watched Family Guy, it seemed to be a lot more slapstick, a lot more one-liners that you could recall, super easy, kind of like Friends. Whereas the more later versions of Family Guy are more situational humor, but still hilarious.
Yeah.
Just absolutely funny.
I'll have to start watching it again.
Dude, I'm loving it, man. If it wasn't for being able to laugh that hard, I'd probably be going insane right now. Like I'm really glad I can watch it and everything. But yeah, it's just it's been great. But it's been like a recurring theme, dude. Like going back to we were talking about Kevin Hart. Was that right? Like during Patreon?
Yeah.
And
yes,
you were asking about what where he's been or like what he's doing now, and told you about the whole like Twitter debacle that he got in. It's just, yeah, dude, it's really unfortunate that like you really can't say anything nowadays without pissing everybody off in some capacity,
unless you're up on the stage.
Yeah.
But once you're off the stage,
yeah,
then
like
you can't say any
no
of that
leniency,
stuff. Yeah, there's
man,
no room for a joke.
Yeah, it's just
it's interesting. As long as you're holding a microphone, then it's okay.
It's
but once
okay.
you put the microphone down.
Yeah,
man,
like shame on you, and it's just like holy millennial, like calm down, man. Like it's just in jest. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't know what jest means. It's just for fun. Like, we're just trying to make some jokes here.
Oh, I'm sorry,
okay?
you don't know what fun means.
Yeah, I want to go back to the part of America, dude, where people used to be able to laugh at each other and be okay with it. So, I was the wife and I were watching the news this morning when we got up, and I can't even remember where the story took place, dude, but it was basically a story of a bunch of guys that were hanging out at someone's house, and somebody said something while they were getting drunk and laughing around, and another guy pulled a knife and stabbed his buddy because of what he said. It's just like, oh my gosh, dude! Like,
dude,
what is wrong with people these days? Like, come on.
You can tell if your buddy Frank is the kind of person who's going to stab somebody or not.
You should be able to.
That's true.
Yeah, you know what?
You would think.
When your other friends are like, hey, man, we should probably stop hanging out with Frank. You're like, no, it's cool. He's cool.
No, check this out. Hey, Frank.
Turns out Frank doesn't
He's
like
cool. He's cool.
jokes.
Trust me. Watch.
Everyone has their limits,
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, no, it's a snowflake generation, dude. Like, I'm starting to believe it more and more. There was a time I didn't want to, but it's so true. People get so offended nowadays over everything. So that's why I love Family Guy, because I know it probably pisses a lot of people off, and I get to laugh at it, and it's all good.
South Park's good for that too.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched South Park, dude. But I used to love that show too.
Yeah, some of the funniest stuff, man. I love it. I love it.
It was the episode I was watching today. It was hilarious because now I don't know if you guys know this, but if a show mentions Scientology, they can actually be sued now.
Really?
Yeah, just for saying Scientology.
Oh, really?
So,
dude, that's how much hold Travolta has.
No. So in this episode, they were making fun of Tom Cruise and Scientology, except they weren't calling it Scientology. In order to skirt past that, it was the Church of Alien Beep Boop. The Church of Alien Beep Boop.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Oh, it was great, dude. Like,
that makes it better.
Yeah, it's those little things right there that you just you laugh so hard over because it's hilarious. You know?
For sure.
Probably shouldn't be, but it's super funny. So yeah, I mean, Amy's just been she's just been shaking her head every time she walks by because I look like a little kid on the couch watching a cartoon.
Oh,
but
dude, crying.
I love it. Yeah, it's great. So anyway, that's been my summer so far. Softball and Family Guy, loving it. It's nice. McDonald's.
Sounds awesome.
It's going to give you the runs.
Yes. I will become
take that over the lava cheeks, right?
I will become the human soft serve machine.
Oh.
Don't anyone Google that. I'm sure it's not
good. Don't go in there. It's just all dead inside.
If you're brave enough to Google that while you're at it.
Oh, no, dude.
Oh, my gosh. What did you just do?
Oh.
Make sure you beep that out.
Oh. Don't do it.
I cannot stress enough not to do that.
If you like coffee ice cream, it'll ruin it for you.
See, about 30 minutes, I'm going to have to make a little beep right there. I'm just going to remember that.
Just long beep, dude.
Oh,
no, make two beeps. Two, one.
All right.
Dude, it just ruined coffee ice cream for me, dude.
Anyway, Drew, how was your week, my friend? Your 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
It was going well.
Yeah. I'm just having all these flashbacks.
Don't ever eat the yellow snow.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Just don't eat snow. It's not worth it. So I was on Reddit and I came across this thing. And I thought, there's no way that this is possible. So, Instagram influencer admits his mom, so they're English, works two jobs to pay for his lifestyle. So his mom works two jobs. His mom works two jobs for him to pay for the things that he does. So an Instagram influencer admitted his mom works two jobs to fund his lavish lifestyle and has started a GoFundMe page now to pay for his next holiday.
So it's not enough that someone works for him to do what he wants. He now has to solicit money from people.
Because his mom can't afford this trip.
Okay, perfect. GoFundMe was like the worst thing ever. Like,
dude,
ever.
you could do it for anything. And at the end of every news article, it says there's a GoFundMe page set up. And it's like, come on, dude. Yeah, you can't give to them all.
Man flying down the street on a scooter gets hit by Escalade. GoFundMe.
I doubt there was a GoFundMe there.
Lady can't find work in Nevada at Buffalo Wild Wings. GoFundMe.
Dude, there was a GoFundMe page. So, like, I guess, like, Kylie Jenner has an insane amount of money, hundreds of millions.
Yeah, for being a YouTube star or something, right?
Yeah, so there was a GoFundMe page to make her a billionaire. People giving money to make her richer.
That's insane.
Oh, my gosh.
And people would do it, dude. And you know these are people who are living paycheck to paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, I'd like to see her, as a girl be a billionaire. So here's $10.
Wow.
Dumb, dude.
Wow.
Either that or...
So how old is this?
We're messing up somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
No, look at us now. We're definitely messing up somewhere.
So if you guys want to donate to our GoFundMe...
So check us out at patreon.com. So how old is this guy that's living this lavish lifestyle?
I don't know exactly. I'm going to guess by looking at him, probably in his 20s. He's tattooed, dude, from like head to toe. And I'm a very heavily
Wait, is that the guy that couldn't get a job at Buffalo Wild Wings?
Probably.
Nice freedom neck tattoo.
And it's not even cool font.
No, it's not.
He used Times New...
It's not Times New Roman. It looks more like New York
Comic
90s.
Sans?
Like,
just block... So some block lettering, dude. It says freedom on his neck. Freedom from font. Ever working again.
He's like, everybody deserves freedom, just not my mom.
This guy has on his face, it says, I love life on his forehead.
Oh my gosh.
And then under his eye, it says, think within. And these are all basically in the same font.
Holy millennium.
It's like he went to Hobby Lobby and looked at one of their art walls and was like, just put it on.
Yeah, just do it all. It's like a motivational poster where there's big words and then little words, but they're all something positive.
Is the cat phrase in there? Hang in there.
He's going to turn around and take his shirt off, and across his back it's going to say "Live, Laugh, Love."
Yeah, dude. It's really, really terrible, dude.
I think I saw it on his knuckles, actually. Hang in there.
So the question I have is, this guy is an Instagram influencer who relies on his mom working two jobs for him to be able to live his lifestyle.
Yeah.
He's now running a GoFundMe for his next trip. Like, who and what is he influencing?
He just has... Him and his girlfriend have a lot of likes, and they travel a lot and take pictures in these places.
What they're basically doing,
and he's
is they're complete. Hold on, dude. They're doing some good in this world. They're trying to undermine AAA. They're looking for the world to pay them for their opinion on where to visit. That's what they're doing.
Oh my gosh!
Because the conglomerate AAA isn't doing their job anymore, so they're trying to do it for them. That's what I'm telling. Dude,
he's taking corporate.
I know it sounds all like conspiracy theorist, but it's the corporations being all corporation-y that causes people to do this stuff, and
dude,
we need to support them.
This is why you need to be talented in order to be famous, dude. You can't just make everyone famous because crap like this happens. No, you're not. Not everyone is meant for this. Even some of the people who aren't meant for it. It just happened. That's Post Malone's of the world. You know? So
At least he's writing music. They look identical when it comes to the tattoos, but at least he's putting music out and maybe making it so his mom doesn't have to work a job instead of two.
Yeah, that's true. So they ran an Instagram account called Another Beautiful Day. And when this first launched like a week and a half ago, that account was still up and running. Since this came out, they've shut down their account. And now well, I guess it wasn't technically a job because obviously it wasn't making enough money to pay for his stuff. But now he can't do anything.
He can't go anywhere. He can't do anything.
No, and I'm assuming the chick's not going to stick around.
Probably not.
It was cool for a while, but
She doesn't look like the type that was going to stick around anyway.
so it was titled Another Beautiful Day, and then the first comment was a hashtag of another lazy ass.
Oh, man.
Dang it. I was so hoping that the account was still live because
Yeah, no, it's not. There was some
coulda
good
had some
stuff
fun
on
with
there.
that.
Yeah.
So they've probably taken nothing but crap since this went viral or since the article.
Oh, I'm sure,
Was
dude.
written.
Oh, hang on. So this was the post that came out on their page. I took a screenshot of it. The day that this article came out and everybody started doing all this stuff. So this guy writes, and with this post, I will step away from social media for a little while. I mentioned that I'll be doing the hardest thing I've ever done mentally and physically soon. Here it is.
getting a job.
No, I'm going on a walk. I will walk as long as I possibly can. No sleep, no social media, no distractions. Just me and my brain out there. This first came to my mind in the Himalayan mountains, where I got to experience what my mind, body, and soul are capable of. Now I'm going to take it even further. I'm ready to face whatever is buried deep inside me. Those doing the 30-day challenge, carry on. Remember why you started and keep moving forward. Much love to you all. Time to do some soul work.
So my advice to this individual is don't take your phone on this walk. Walk near a cliff.
Dude.
Sprain your ankle. Fall to the left side and do us all a favor.
First comment.
No, is that too...
No, you're good. No, you're
Okay,
totally
all right,
good.
good.
You're just trying to influence the influencer.
First comment. Try walking to a job interview. Second comment. Who else came here to look at two sponges? I don't know what that means, but didn't get any donations, so they got to walk it to Africa now instead. Because that's where they're trying to go.
I think I prefer walk to a job interview.
Look within your mother's purse, more like.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, if this guy's going to do anything, go fund me for his mom. Let her take the vacation.
No, I will not give her money either.
No, she's an enabler.
Exactly, dude.
Are you kidding me? That's why I like
Exactly.
Reddit, dude.
Yeah.
Because on Instagram, everybody was talking crap about him and then being like, oh, the poor mom. On Reddit, they were like, no, F the mom too.
Why are you working two jobs and funding your son's vacations?
Dude.
Are you freaking kidding me?
So when you're talking about millennials, dude, this guy, obviously.
This is why girl number one can't get a job at Buffalo Wild Wings. She took it. All because this guy's got to go to Africa.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's true.
It's the world we live in now.
This is a Class F felony, by the way.
Oh my god.
Kind of slid that one in.
That's what she said.
No, it's good. Oh my.
Oh, man.
All right.
So,
All right, fellas. Well, that brings us to that beloved
Bachelorette?
time.
Oh.
Yeah, you want to talk a little Bachelorette?
I don't know, man.
You know-
I'm not
you
really
know, we
prepared. But I do want to talk about that basketball date with Jed. Did you watch that?
The basketball date with Jed?
Did you watch it when she took him like to play basketball with the 2 professional basketball players?
Oh my gosh, that sounds so
Probably
familiar.
like-
I feel like
it
I
was
saw
like
the
two-
most recent episode.
It was like 2 weeks ago. And dude, it was so funny to me because like at the
we are going to talk Bachelorette.
just for a second,
we
dude,
are.
because
Yeah.
this part
got
really
a little
made
bit of
dude. This part really made me laugh. So she takes this guy on a date, and it's playing basketball with 2 famous basketball players, tall.
Who can afford that normally?
No one.
Chris Harrison.
yeah, he for sure could. So they're at this date, and you could tell these guys are like, man, this is really weird, but I'm sure they're getting paid to be there.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end of it, when they're done playing basketball, she's sitting down one-on-one with this basketball player. And she's talking in depth about what she likes and doesn't like about this dude. And he's just sitting there, It's just like, this is the dumbest thing in the world. I don't have time for this white girl's problems.
real.
This is retarded. Yeah. Luckily, they gave me $250,000 to be here.
Man.
So I thought that was pretty awesome, dude.
So talk to me. I mean, okay, so we haven't got to talk anything about The Bachelorette at all. So a couple of things that we need to hit on. Dude, were you a fan of Cam? ABC, always be Cam?
I don't know who
Do
that
you
is.
remember him?
No, I don't
That's the guy
know that
who's the
many of them.
rapper?
Always.
Oh, he rapped in the
be Cam.
beginning when he first met her.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that guy was
Yes.
an idiot from the start. I don't know. I didn't see anything unfold with him.
Oh, man.
What I will say about
he continued to rap.
more.
Oh, yes. It was bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot, dude. But what I will say is The Bachelorette is way weirder to watch than The Bachelor. For some reason,
for
It's
sure.
like watching a constant Ben Stiller movie, except
Dude.
like with a woman.
it's like you're watching the inside of a meat market, and occasionally a woman walks in.
Oh my gosh.
It's super uncomfortable, dude. And a lot of these guys, or not, I don't, maybe not a lot, but a few of these guys, I'm really iffy about their orientation and whether
Okay, like who?
they're actually there for the girl,
So,
or if it's like, hey,
Next week we play a game. You bring in photos of 10 guys from The Bachelorette, 5 of which you think are iffy, and then we have to guess.
I love
you
it.
think
I
it is.
love it. Yes.
we can do that. We can do that.
If
We
you
can
want
put
me to
that
talk
together.
Bachelorette, you're going to have to do something like
We
that.
can put that together. So I have a feeling that there's a couple of them that are actually into dudes, and they're like, man, if I get on this show, I'll be living in this house with all these dudes.
It's not just Hannah B. I'm going after.
I'm going after B.
Oh, my gosh.
But it's just weird, dude, because all the dudes spend more time with each other than they do with the girl. So it's like, it's just this.
I thought that was kind of like the premise of the show.
It is,
That's kinda
dude.
supposed to happen.
It is, but it's weirder when it's a bunch of dudes. Like, if there's a group date and there's like 8 of them, the clip that they show is her there, and then all 8 of these dudes running towards this girl, and then they all take turns like hugging and kissing her, and then like high-fiving each other, and it's just a very weird dynamic, dude. Very uncomfortable.
Like when they all
Very
ran out in
unhealthy.
Kind of reminds me of a snake pit.
Oh my.
It's like she's Indiana Jones in the bottom of that tomb.
That's one way.
I hate
One way of
snakes.
phrasing it. Where I was actually going was National Geographic. I don't know if you know about this, but with with anacondas,
They don't want none unless you.
no, they
Got buns, man.
A thank you, Drew. A thank you.
it's Bud's Hun.
I know, but we're talking in terms of this show.
No, like so. Fun fact here: Here's your National Geographic moment. Anacondas, when they're ready for breeding, several males will flock to one female, and they will stay in this like battle for 30 days until one of them finally gets to breed with the female, and they will like like they create this like knot and everything.
Oh,
that's what
dude,
the Bachelorette's like.
That's what I'm most afraid of in this world. That right there, dude. I always wondered, like, is it sharks? Is it planes? Is it someone breaking into my house and my gun's not loaded? Oh, no, it's that, dude.
Anaconda knots.
Yeah, holy crap. Dude, right. That's insane. Right.
So yeah, that's the first thought that came to my mind. Snake bit.
Yeah, that is what it's like. Yeah. Dude.
So Drew, talk to me about Luke P.
Is that the crazy guy that body slammed the other dude?
Yeah.
Nice. So someone got body slammed.
Yeah. They were playing rugby
tonight on UFC 196.
These two dudes didn't like each other beforehand. Well, actually, no one liked this other guy because he was weird, dude. He was kind of an odd guy. He looked like he was going to murder somebody at some point.
Frank.
Yeah. So they're out on the rugby field, and this guy comes up saying something to him, and he just grabs him and body slams him on the ground.
Wow. Just like scooped his legs and dropped him.
I didn't have a problem with it personally. You know, like maybe don't rush up on somebody yelling at them, and that's not going to happen. You know, that's a life lesson.
Nice.
Take it, learn from it. Don't let it happen again.
Maybe get quicker.
Learn how to defend yourself. There's a lot of possibilities.
A little bit.
Just lead with the fist. Lead with the fist.
I don't know if that would have helped him in that moment, but I didn't see it.
No, nothing was going to help this. He's not that kind of guy.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
He's the guy that complains about it later to the girl.
Hi, I'm Raggedy Andy.
Yeah, so the one guy was like,
and then he body slammed me.
Well, the one guy was like, he was just coming at me, and he had this glazed look in his eye, and he looked like he was going to take a swing. And the guy's like, that is bullcrap. I was not going to punch you in the face. That's not the kind of person I am.
That's what he sounded like, dude. So it's like,
wow. All the steroids went right to his voice.
Obviously, he's never been involved in anything physical whatsoever.
If you know what I mean.
Anything physical.
At all. Gotcha. He's a class G felon.
A class V felon, if you know what I mean. Anyways. Well, dude, Luke P's still in the running.
Wait, he's still on the show?
Yes, dude.
The way if I were to recount the conversations we've had about The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, it sounds like he's about to get his own show called The Bachelor.
Oh yeah, he'll be the next one if he
in October.
Dude, what's so funny about it is the relationship between her and him is always this. He's a very like bland and boring person, like very robotic. It seems like violence and probably sex are the only two things that he knows. Not a solid combination for a mate, if you ask me.
Well, do you remember at the very beginning
primal,
when they were doing their stories?
Yeah.
He was the one who was like, I found the Bible and I found Jesus and it just changed my life. And there was like video of him like sitting in like a chapel reading the Bible and like looking up to the, and then he's like body slamming dudes.
Yeah,
and like,
dude. And he always has like this blank stare in his face. And her whole thing is she's like, I just want to get to know the real you. You know, I haven't seen the real you. And the whole time he's been this person, dude, just a psycho. And she's like, I know there's someone else under there. And it's like, yeah, dude. And he carves skin off of people.
It's like if you were to put Dolph Lundgren and Hannibal Lecter together.
Yeah, dude.
That's what I'm picturing. I don't know why.
And every time,
there is another person inside, and another one, and another one, and another one. and we all want to have you.
At different times.
And all the guys are like, why haven't you sent him home yet? And she's like, don't worry about what I do. You need to trust that I'll make good decisions. Like, we don't.
Then this is not the contest for you.
I'm going to go home because I feel like he's going to murder people.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I mean, I feel like it was the same situation. I feel like it... when we had Colton and we were looking at him and Hannah B, and it was getting down to the wire, but we're like, she is the train wreck. If he ends up with her, it'll be beautiful. And then she became the Bachelorette. I think you might be onto something. I mean, if she ends up with Luke P, it's going to be this perfect disaster storm of the century.
Yeah, dude.
But he's probably going to be the next Bachelor, dude.
If they got together, they would wind up in Florida, and then you would see them on the front page, dude, from like a murder-suicide or something weird and crazy, dude. They beat each other up. Like the Shazam guy.
They beat each other up to death.
yeah, like the Shazam guy, dude, when he was on the front page because he got beat up by a prostitute. Did you ever see that one?
The ShamWow?
That's what I imagine.
ShamWow guy.
Oh,
I was like, dude, well,
not the Shazam
DC
guy.
movie Shazam is coming out soon. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, ShamWow guy.
A little bit of a different story there.
Yeah, is it?
Oh my gosh. All right, sweet. Well, you know what? We'll bring you another Bachelorette update next week. And I love Josh's idea, Drew. If you bring some dossiers to the table, we can play matchmaker. We can match the bachelors together with themselves. It could be a beautiful thing. Nobody needs to be alone, Drew. Nobody needs to be alone.
Got to come to the table with a dozen.
All right. So that brings us to everybody's favorite part. Let's talk about what we've learned. Number one, we've learned that Wingstop is a better option than Buffalo Wild Wings. And if you go there and you follow Josh's advice, then you can have your own version of #LavaCheeks. What was the recipe again? It was garlic parmesan, then Cajun,
15,
then Atomic.
You get 8 garlic parmesan, 4 Cajun, and the rest Atomic.
Don't do it.
Oh my gosh. Number 2, we've learned it's a bad idea to take a dump on someone's grave in Nevada because it'll kill your chances at Buffalo Wild Wings. So don't do that. And I think number 3, the most horrific thing we've learned is that Andrew's true nightmare is to be in the middle of an anaconda breeding storm.
Dude, imagine if you're walking through the jungle or the Amazon or wherever these things are, and you pull back some brush, dude. There's a giant ball of snakes just fighting and mating at the same time. No, I don't belong here.
Babe, we're going home. Call that a vacation.
That's awesome. Well, hey, we just want to say thank you so much for listening. Make sure that wherever you get your podcasts, you subscribe. And if you leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes, it really helps out. Make sure you check us out at Patreon, patreon.com/youmehepodcast. Tonight we were talking about Kevin Hart and comedians and all kinds of cool stuff. So make sure you check that out. And until next time, I'm Rob Lambert.
This is Josh Frankenstein.
Drew Carroll. What? Drew Carroll?
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Have a good night, everybody.